Good evening and welcome to the City of Shelbyville Mayor and City Council study session. It is November the 6th. It's about 6 p.m. I might mention at this time we've just had a ceremony recognizes all of our veterans that work for the City of Shelbyville, and Stacy Claxton, our HR person, has worked on that and did a great job tonight. It's always good to see all those folks that have served. Of course, this weekend we'll have a Veterans Parade in Shelbyville, and Chief Phillips, everything is good on traffic and things like that. So we will go ahead with our agenda tonight. Do we have any public comments, Lisa?
No, sir, we do not have any signed up.
Okay. Staff report, city manager update, Scott.
Thank you, Mayor. Big news is we received the downtown improvement grant from the Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development. That grant will be for $450,000 with a required 25% match. Half of it will go for private improvements like it did 2 years ago, and the other half will go for public municipal improvements. After the workshop on animal control, staff will be sitting down and working policy revisions to address some of the concerns that were brought up during that meeting. Riverview District is really doing very well. Public Works has done an exceptional job coordinating the concrete and sidewalks, and Grindstone, as you all well know, cut the ribbon yesterday. Glass Hall is going strong, and it's really turning into a vibrant area. And the last thing is the governor's conference. A few of us were able to attend it. It was some great economic development sessions. The governor, the deputy governor / ECD commissioner were all there. Staff interacted with ECD staff and got some great information, and buddied up with the ICSC Southeast Conference that was recently attended. There's a lot of recruitment and retail momentum getting ready to come down the pipe. Hey, that's all I have at this time.
Any comments or questions for Scott? Okay. And we'll look as we move forward on where that 450 will be spent for that downtown improvement.
Yes, sir. We do have a meeting with Zoom meeting, Teams meeting with ECD staff on December 5th. That's all lay out the parameters on what we do and how we do it.
Okay. I think I got an email on that too. Thank you. All right. We don't have any questions for Scott. We'll move to discussion items. Number one is the 2026 City Council meeting dates, and we'll ask our city recorder, Lisa, if you would.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I put a calendar in everybody's packet. The meetings are pretty standard, the second Thursday back to the week before for the study session. However, there are a couple of months that I already know are going to be an issue. The one of them is pretty easy fix. It's the November date, and that is going to be the election. The study session will fall on November 3rd. That's also election night. So usually what we do in that case is move that November date to November 5th, which will be the Thursday. If everybody head nods that that's good with them. The one that I don't know what to do with is the one coming up in January. Our January study session date falls on December the 30th, which falls right in between the Christmas holiday and the New Year's holiday. I know a lot of people have plans and family obligations, so I don't know, do you want to keep it on that Tuesday, the 30th, or do we want to try to move it? If we moved it, we can't on that Thursday because that would be January the 1st. So then we'd have to move it. We could move it to the next week, maybe do it on the 6th, and then come back with our meeting 2 days later, or we could move our meeting to the following week and do the meeting on maybe the 13th. Have our study session on the 6th of January and our council meeting on the 13th or the 15th if you wanted to keep it on a Thursday.
Whatever works for you.
We all tell me how y'all feel about it.
The 30th doesn't bother me, it's not a holiday.
Didn't bother me either.
30th doesn't bother me either.
Okay.
30th?
30?
Okay.
Okay.
We'll leave it that way.
All right, thank you for that, Lisa. Second, item for discussion is an amendment to the accountability agreement, fast track program, and for Sanford. And Ms. Parker talked to me right before the meeting started. Scott, have you got anything to say along that line? And
No, sir, the staff summary, in your packet sums it up pretty well.
questions? All right. Next item is the Bedford County Christmas sponsorship, and you should have got the pass out tonight on that. Scott, would you handle that, please, sir?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor. Last year, the city matched the county's contribution of $10,000.
Right.
And it was a cold, but it was a great event. It was really a good event. And they're hoping, they've requested the same amount again this year, $10,000. And we did budget for it.
In addition to that, and that's why I'd asked to put it on the agenda, I handed out the memberships for the chamber for the upcoming year, the membership rates. And I'm hoping to include a motion to send a letter to the chamber requesting to rejoin the chamber, probably at the gold level, as a member for 2026. Not necessarily send them a check, just send them a friendly letter saying, hey, we'd like to rejoin 2026 at the gold
I'd
level.
like to get back in.
Don't bring her check back.
Yeah. That's why we send a letter.
I'm
first.
glad I'm back.
But for clarity purposes,
Yeah.
we'll have one agenda item for the Bedford County Christmas sponsorship. We'll have another agenda item to authorize a letter to go to the chamber requesting membership.
Right.
Oh, yeah, perfect.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Josh, Scott. Employee Benefits Review Committee recommendation, medical insurance. They have been having a lot of meetings with a lot of the different vendors, I think, for insurance purposes and things like that. Scott, can you update us on that?
Yes, sir, I'd be proud to, Mayor, and also, Councilmember Blevins.
Blevins,
They add in, and as a member, and then our city treasurer, of course, attended often. But, after extensive study and receiving presentations from the current provider as well as the two semi-public providers, the recommendation from the committee is to go with the TML insurance, health insurance.
Yeah, that's at a what, $205,000 savings?
Same coverages and everything, Scott?
Better coverages.
Good.
And then and I don't know, a separate agenda item, but I wish Councilmember Feldhouse was here to discuss it, but we may look at, I know some of the department heads that asked about us maybe using that money and giving it back to employees in some way, either a buy down of the family coverage costs or, some other way to get some of that money back to our employees. And I think we'll find a way to do that hopefully next Thursday.
So the coverage and the deductible and all those kind of things are a lot better under this program. Councilmember Blevins and Councilmember Feldhouse, as well as Scott and some of our staff are also on that committee. Scott, you got anything else?
And no further other than the compliment committee itself, because they put a lot of work in. And it was hours of meetings every week, and we started presenters. I mean, everybody brought great information. It was a really good dialogue and interaction. And I think this, after due deliberation, this is a great recommendation.
Any of our, you folks got anything to say? There's some other folks that served on it. Chief, Doe, Chief Phillips,
Scott said it all.
Trevor, okay. All right, thank you all for your time. Welcome signage. We've been looking at that for a while. Welcome to Shelbyville signs. We've got some in some places. I have gotten, I don't know how many calls about a Y missing on the one out there at 6441A. Where is that Y at, Mayor? I haven't found it yet. Scott, would you talk to us about that signage, the Welcome to Shelbyville sign?
Yeah, we're just wanting authorization to do RFPs,
Right.
to replace the signs. We did budget $80,000 for improved signage, not just the welcome monument signs, but also some wayfinding, whatever funds will allow. But we will be asking council to authorize us to go ahead with RFPs and get a design, and hopefully by the December meeting, be able to, have you some information.
Okay. The situation of course, some of these signs have been there for a long time and, they're in the wrong location. So, have y'all seen that? And I guess we will have to get permission to put it on different property when we move it out to where the city limit is actual.
Well, these are not the actual city limit signs.
Okay.
We have the state TDOT approved
Okay.
signs that says municipal limits,
Okay.
city limits.
Okay.
But these will need to be as close as possible
Okay.
as a welcome sign to, and showcase coming in.
Okay. And we're looking at doing one over the top of the overpass. Is that correct? Welcome to Shelbyville
Yes.
on the 437 overpass.
That one will take a little more work because we've got to get TDOT approval. You can see Public Works.
Do y'all think that's a good idea? Yeah. Okay. All right, thank you, Scott. The TDOT letter requesting the TAP funds for construction. Scott, I guess I will call on you again, and Lisa, if she needs to get in, from information, please let us know. Go ahead, Scott.
City Hall.
Huh?
Yeah, so.
Oh, I'm sorry, the city hall sign, I've skipped that one. Scott and I've talked about that one, Scott, fill us in, we ran into problems when we got Columbia Neon to look at it, right?
We did, sir. And I want to show appreciation for our purchasing director. She worked with various companies. And they came out and looked at the sign. They were gonna paint it up, spruce it up. But when they said they had concerns about power washing it due to the instability of it and a cracked winds, we thought maybe we need to do a deeper dive into it. And we've got some unofficial quotes, in the range of 14,000, 15,000, which falls within our purchasing parameters. But we want to talk to the city council to make sure, get your blessing, in other words. What we hope to do is replace, first of all, stabilize the sign, straighten and stabilize. Then, paint it, put new lens in and new LED lights. And we're confident we can do all that for less than 15,000. First and foremost, it'll be safe. Second, it'll reflect how the city of Shelbyville should be reflected.
Okay, excellent. And by the way, Ms. Sadler, Lori has been taking care of getting our building, our city hall painted. Have they finished with yet? They're still working on it. They finished?
Looks
Okay.
good.
The trim on the,
It
does look good. Thank you, Lori, for all the work that you've done. Thank you. Thank you, Scott. All right, the grant contract agreement, no, let me go back. TDOT letter requesting TAP funds for construction. Scott?
We are very close to getting approval to go to the right-of-way phase, which is the land acquisition of that small segment. Informally, TDOT has notified us that there could be additional construction funds available through the Transportation Alternative Program. And so we would like to get the city council's authorization for the mayor to send a letter saying we need last dollar construction, and it's in the amount of about, oh goodness, 1.3 million.
Yeah.
That's for the overlook.
The walking over.
Right.
Come on, guys. I'm gonna be the,
They, oh, no, sir, No, sir. We're going,
I almost didn't make it this time.
you'll have your foot on the shuffleboard by some. Never said so.
There you go. Oh, Lord. I might go in that there and take over all the dirt work stuff. Not Trevor.
Okay, thank you, Scott. All right, number 8 is grant contract agreement, the Bragg grant, Airmark building. And, we're working with, someone that's looking at purchasing that building and with this Bragg grant, and they do environmental studies and things. Scott, would you update us? And Lisa, if she needs to help us too.
And actually, our city
Okay.
treasurer has
Okay.
done phenomenal work on it. And Lisa's been involved, in our city attorney.
He probably knows more about it than I do, so.
And the city treasurer gets a heavy lift.
All right, okay.
I was counting on Ginger, but she found that out and didn't come tonight. I think the steps on this, before we, had the mayor sign the state contract, we had kind of a side agreement with, it was gonna be Vellator, but now it's another company, JCB or something. And that's so that the city is guaranteed we won't be out any money. They will pay all the BOAP fees. And don't ask me right now what BOAP stands for, but it's fees you pay to the state. And once that is signed, that agreement has been sent to them. They sent back a red line markup version, back to Ginger. That's what I think is gonna be on your agenda. But that's just making sure we don't have any liability to pay those fees. Once that is signed by the mayor and approved by council, then the mayor can sign the state contract. In fact, that probably needs to be on the agenda too, that he has authority to sign both. And then after that, Lori can release the RFQs, which I think she already has ready. But we just have to make sure we get all this in the right order.
Excellent.
And then go from there. And this is the grant that, South Central Tennessee Development District will be administering. And then we just go from there.
Thank you for that update. So any questions on that? Folks know what we're talking about? Okay. All right. Whole business. Second and final reading, public hearing, an ordinance of the Shelbyville City Council to amend the Shelbyville zoning map by approving the rezoning of the residential zoning classification on a portion of approximately plus or minus 1.08 acres owned by Jorge Nito Angeles and Josu Nito. Addressed at 804, excuse me if that's not correct. Addressed at 804 East Depot Street, referenced in Bedford County, Tennessee tax records as tax map 89G, Group K, partial 9.01, and attached as Exhibit A and Exhibit B, Spears subdivision recorded plat from residential 3, R3, medium density residential to commercial 2, C2, general business, and repealing any ordinance or portion of ordinance in conflict therewith. This received a favorable recommendation from the Planning Commission. Discussion on that? Questions? Okay. Josh and I are real familiar with it. Okay. All right.
I dreamed about you, Tom, when I said.
Was it a bad or a good dream? New business, let's move to that. Ordinance, first readings, an ordinance of the Shelbyville City Council to amend the Shelbyville zoning map by approving the rezoning of approximately 57.8 plus or minus acres vacant parcel owned by James D. Trollinger Trust, addressed as Richdale Lane, referenced in Bedford County, Tennessee tax records as tax map 69, parcel 80, and attached as Exhibit A from residential 3, which is, okay, that looks like a misprint. Residential 2, it should be, R2 medium density, medium low density residential, to residential 3, R3 medium density high residential. Or how does that read?
R3 is the medium density, sir.
R3 is
Medium density.
medium density, and the R2 was correct on that first one, right?
R2, yes, it's a medium low density.
Low density, okay.
Yes, sir.
And repealing any ordinance or portion of ordinance in conflict therewith. This, received an unfavorable vote, by the planning commission. Comments on that one?
Could you explain why that received the unfavorable?
Sure.
Where you going, Dusty?
Huh?
I read it, Tom.
All right, so by 5-2 vote, this received an unfavorable recommendation, and the concerns were related to the Richdale Lane traffic concern as well as the neighborhood compatibility. What the, we'll go actually to the analysis page. I'll skip over all this part of it. It does meet our future land use map. It's consistent with that. This is the neighborhood zoning right now. R2 is throughout the area with the agriculture one for those that are in the county to the north and to the east. Let me just go to this plan. This is our concept plan that wasn't submitted during the meeting. It was pulled out as a paper copy, but they provided us with this one. There is a plan in place right now to extend the north-south road up to the bypass. There is an annexation petition in that will be coming to the planning commission in this month, in a couple of weeks. It's not set in stone yet. Currently, the only thing that we have as access to this potential development is Richdale Lane. And so when we were reviewing at the planning commission, tomorrow's not promised to anyone. So right now we can only look at Richdale and emptying out onto Fairfield Pike, which would then create, and that was one of the biggest concerns of the planning commission. The compatibility part comes into play when I go back to this here, and then here, there are single-family residentials of different size lots. And the concern is that if you had higher density in that area, it might be less compatible with those areas. And in my report, that was something that I identified as well, is that there's less compatibility along the edges. Now, the developer had in their concept plan, and I don't know if this was actually, I can't confirm whether this was actually the one that was shown, because if you look at the edge treatment here, and actually this one's a better one. So this is these are the edges in question. The green is the open space and the blue is a stream. And then the gray area is TVA. So they're proposing, I can't remember if it was 158 units. Let me see. They're proposing 158 single-family units, which is, I put the density comparison, and that was something that was new from, or I added, that wasn't in the planning commission, was a comparison between the existing zoning of the R2 and then the R3, as well as a comparison to the, what they're proposing. But they're showing a little bit larger lot sizes to the southeast, and then to the southwest, actually to the west. They have more open space, as seen in this slide with the green. But during the meeting, during their planning commission meeting, it was because you have single family around there, smaller lots of them more closer to R2 size, even though those ones are larger lots. The commission felt like with the impact to Richdale Lane, and then not having that access off the Fairfield Pike, as well as the other houses around there, they felt like it was not compatible with the neighborhood at the time. So.
Can you go back to that other concepts drawing?
Yes.
The other big thing that we were concerned about at planning commission is this drawing has no legal, we have no strength around this drawing. They can throw this out and build something completely different once we rezone to R3. If we go from R2 to R3, they're held to R3 standards. R3 could be a whole neighborhood of duplexes. So, and we don't have anything legally that we can hold them to match that concept plan. So as soon as we open the door to R3, that allows a gross density that could fit as many as 340 units. They're not ever going to get that many, but this 158 could become 250, and we wouldn't have the ability to stop it at that point.
That is correct. It's, and that's why, with not having the access and then, and you can see up on the chart now is the gross development capacity where you have R3 is 335.7. And then the R2 has 251.7, 0.8. When we look at these rezoning application, it's always with the consideration of what is the highest and best use of the property. Certainly with concept, you can get an idea from it, but it definitely is, as Councilman Blevins explained, so.
And my thoughts, my concern, I'm on the planning commission also, but now all that traffic's gonna come out on Fairfield Pike, right where, Cartwright School is. And that road is already, now, they do not have anything locked in to go over to 437 yet,
Not yet.
not yet.
Yes.
The difference between an R2 lot and an R3 is 10,000 square feet for an R2, 7,500 for an R3.
Yes, sir.
So you can see, just like Josh was talking about, if the contractor or developer wanted to go ahead and, just like it is in the subdivision where you live, Josh, they can contract that out to other people and they can just do anything if we move forward with that R3.
Yes.
So we're concerned about that. We're concerned about the traffic. We're concerned about changing that neighborhood because most of them are at least R2.
Yes, sir. It's
And
R2 all the way around.
all that neighborhood going, but that traffic coming out on Fairfield Pike, I know they're talking about this other entrance and exit on 437, but that's not locked in yet. That belongs to another party.
That's correct, sir.
Yes.
Yes, that's Susie Cartwright's property, and there is an annexation petition that will be coming to the, this council in December for consideration, so.
Josh, and I'll tell you anything else that we know, but that was why part of the reason they received on.
Yeah, and in just bigger picture, this isn't the only one of these we've got coming down the pike. We've got a lot of people that are coming into town and wanting to squeeze in more density. We as a council have to make those decisions. Is this what we want for the city? Do we just want to keep cramming more people into smaller space? Or do we want to try to get some nicer neighborhoods and, bigger lots, perfect.
Plan it properly.
Yeah.
And we were talking about the spider system where you build from the center of the city out.
Yeah.
And then when you start taking Shelbyville power, water and sewer and this is out at the edge of the system.
Yeah.
And when you try to supply those and the fire department and the police department, all of those folks, you're gonna have to travel more distance, to get to these locations when we start moving out away from the center of the city. So we need to take that into consideration too. But that traffic thing on Fairfield Pike, that's a big issue to me. Big issue to me. And going from R2 to R3. If it was all R2, we'd think about it with the other exit entrance.
Yeah, and the concept is not that
Yeah.
far off from R2. This
Yeah.
developer could remove a few
Yeah.
lots
Yeah.
and just develop it as it sits at R2.
He wouldn't have to even come back for that. I mean,
No,
he
he
already is
didn't come back.
No, we wouldn't.
Any other questions for Tom? All right, thank you, Tom.
Thank you.
All right, business items tonight, we have a certificate of compliance, the Bargain Barn, DBA, United Grocery Outlet number 17. Lisa?
Yes, sir. I think everybody's familiar with these. Currently, the UGO down here does not sell beer. They are wanting to go to selling beer and wine, so they do have a beer board application in for our beer board meeting next week. And this will, allow them to work with the ABC to sell wine. So, the gentleman is the manager of the store that we ran the background check on. Everything came back good. So next week, if council approves, we'll send that, the next day, I'll send that on to the ABC and they can work with me from there on the wine part of it.
Okay. Questions, comments? Okay, purchasing items and Ms. Lori's with us tonight. Various rocks for city departments with 2 one-year options for renewal. I was there when the bids was coming in. Different kind of rocks. And bigger trucks that carry them, right?
Right. In a nutshell, really. Bid committee met October 23rd, and we had 2 bidders, Rogers Group of Shelbyville, Gulf and Materials of Shelbyville. I won't read all of the type of rock and their pricing, but overall, Rogers Group was the only one that was responsive to the entire bid package because Vulcan didn't want to deliver any. It was all pick up at the quarries. But Rogers Group was responsive, and their prices on the rocks we used the most were lower, which was good for us. So Public Works Director Valad reviewed, and he recommends award to Rogers Group.
The only thing we didn't have at that bid committee meeting were the previous prices. Did they go up a bunch, Buck? Was this a big increase or not much?
Yeah, I mean, like the Gabion and things like that, that went up about $4 a ton. So, yeah, the crusher run, that stayed about the same. So we use more crusher run than what we do with Gabion.
So it's not gonna be a big hit for the budget or anything?
No, it's a hit, but it's not gonna be a big one.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions for Lori on that one? If not, we'll move to B, lease agreement extension for the police department body cameras and video manager software. Lori?
All right, the history on this is the lease in question started in August of 21. You all approved the first lease agreement with Motorola WatchGuard at the time that included 47 body cams, 39 in-car video systems, and all the software and equipment to run these systems. The police department was contacted by Motorola about a lease agreement extension on the body cam portion of that only. They don't have pricing yet for the rest of that lease, but this lease isn't up till September of next year. But they are offering us, we're currently paying $49 a month for the body cams. They're offering us to stay at that price for another 5 years if we commit by December 1st. If we don't, the renewal price goes up to $69 a month. And this is utilizing Sourcewell, which is a national cooperative contract. And that's the limit of what I know. If you have more questions, they're here.
I do have a question. Okay, so is this an entire package, the software, the body cams, all of this, does this come together, as a entire package?
Are you talking about the body cams or the in-car video system?
Yeah.
And it's the same, but it's separate. So our body cam, body worn camera system is a VOS, which is a video as a service. So it comes with a transfer station, cloud storage, unlimited cloud storage, I should say. And we have like 259,000 videos in there at this moment over the past 5 years, or the past 4 years that we've had. It also comes with redaction software, so that if somebody requests to open records, then we can go in and we can redact faces, pictures. If there's a picture of a driver's license, then we can redact that. And that software is included with it also.
So is there an option to actually buy this out as opposed to leasing?
Well, I think if you buy it out, if you was to buy something like that out, I think your price is going to be astronomically higher than that, because then you're going to have the upkeep of the server. You're going to have to purchase redaction software, which is, anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500 per month. You're going to have to be able to make sure that we can itemize it so that way it can be searchable whenever we need it. And also when the district attorney's office needs it for prosecution, all we have to do at this moment is just go in and send them an email with a link for 30 days or 60 days, and then they can actually retrieve it on their email and view it for that amount of time to download it if they need to.
So there's 47 body cams. Is there not a possibility that you can share those body cams on shifts per se? No.
Well, I think that causes confusion because, but the body cams are with them whenever they get to work, so if sometimes officers get calls before they get to the police department, and that way their body cam is already on them on the way to work.
Each officer is issued one, so it's specifically to them.
Yes.
So you can go in and search a video from each individual.
Right, each body cam is assigned to each individual officer. So like, I have a body cam that's assigned to me, chief has a body cam that's assigned to him, so that way if something happens, then all we gotta do is look for, Major Merlot's body cam, and we can see every video that I've done, look for, Chief Phillips' body cam, we can see every video that, he's done.
Like you said, there were 258,000 videos just in 4 years.
Wow.
We activate our body cams anytime we have any interaction with an individual. Anytime we come in contact with an individual, start talking with them, we activate those body cams. So that's a lot.
Right, anytime you activate your blue light, your body cam pretty much automatically comes on.
We get more and more public records requests every day. This last month, we've had like 15 just in this last.
That's
you know.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah, and then, Deputy Chief Mathis has to be able to grab them, and then he has to look at them, and he has to redact, sometimes silence some of the sound and redact some of the information, because they have their driver's license and they're filling out those forms. Well, you can't release driver's license. You can't release, home addresses, so all that has to be redacted.
Ms. Parker?
I was just gonna say, and Lori and I talked about this, but our annual lease payment to this company is about $95,000.
Okay.
So this is only renewing the 26 or 8,000 portion of it. So we'll have to address that other 65 or 70,000 as between now and September. So I just wanted to mention that.
And locking in this price, I didn't say it earlier, but this doesn't start until next September. It would start next September with an additional 5 years.
She said it'd be $20 more if we wait.
Correct.
A month. I mean,
Correct.
open camera.
Correct.
Do you ever, maybe look at other companies that would be,
I think there's only really two companies that, police departments use. One of them is Axon, which, Motorola is a whole lot
better?
better is probably not the correct term, but more cost efficient for the city of Shelbyville. Motorola is the Axon community.
It really worked good for us for the entire time we've had it. Our complaints and things like that have just about zero. Because you'll have an individual complain about an officer or something, and you come in and watch the video, and it's completely different from how they portray it. So it really works good.
So do you have problems with it as far as technical difficulties or any servicing?
Every once in a while we do, they just upgraded, so I might add that even in this contract, so they do a body camera refresh every 3 years. So we just went from the nomenclature of a V300 to a nomenclature of a V700. So the V300 was old technology, the V700 is a more newer technology. The device itself is made a little more, so that the battery stays connected better. And so we've had 3 V700s in service for a little over a year. We've had 0 problems out of the V700, whereas the V300, there were certain issues with them, but, officers are pretty hard on stuff sometimes. And, all I gotta do is call them up, run through the troubleshooting process, and then they'll ship us one overnight and we'll send it back.
Yes,
Since
ma'am.
we're talking about this, I just want to mention something else.
Okay.
We also have 2 additional leases for body cameras as we've hired more officers. They're
Okay.
much smaller amounts. One's like 9,000 a year, and then the other one we prepaid on 3 officers through a grant. But there are 2 others that are smaller.
Okay.
Will they all combine next year at
No,
this
we
particular time? Or
no,
they won't
we-
run out at the same time? There's no way to.
Very good. Thank you. Okay, the ADA Authority Board, 1 seat, we're still looking at a 2-year term, for the mayor to appoint, and Lisa and I are still investigating that. And we do have a person that we're going to contact and ask if they would like to serve on that, board. Shelbyville Housing Authority. Mr. Tillman called me personally, and he, has a person who is a resident that's already a member of the Housing Authority, and he would like to, reappoint that person for the Housing Authority. That's correct, Lisa?
Yes.
Okay. All right, other business tonight, we have any?
Trash pickup on Monday for, you got that, okay.
Okay, Lisa, you got announcements,
I
please?
have a couple, yes, sir.
Okay.
First of all, as the mayor stated at the beginning of our meeting, the Veterans Day Parade will be held Saturday, November 8th, beginning at 11 a.m. It'll run the normal parade route. City Hall and Public Works will be closed on Tuesday, November 11th, in observation of Veterans Day, and Tuesday's trash will be picked up on Monday, November 10th, with Monday's regular route. Then all city offices will also be closed on November 27th and November 28th for Thanksgiving. Thursday's trash will be picked up on Wednesday, November 26th, with Wednesday's regular route. Buck is looking like that. He thinks that's right. Okay. If it's wrong, we'll tell you next week. But I think it's right. I looked at the calendar. Also, the TCAT ribbon cutting is November 18th at 9 a.m. And if y'all would let me know if y'all are wanting to go, you may have been able to register, but I think there was a couple people having some issues with the registration. So if you'll tell me, I will call them personally and let them know how many of us are coming. So just say something to me before you leave tonight.
Wow.
And then the MTSU groundbreaking is December 3rd at 9 a.m.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sure there's more.
Any other announcements? Any other business? If not, let's adjourn.